And it's just such a beautiful town. I've always loved Grahamstown, such a wealth of history, unfortunately plagued by its own issues, but we're hearing from the community that they have now decided to work together to try and better this. But we're going to tell you a little bit more about what the community are doing to uplift the area and to make things better for the municipality. But let's take a look at something else now. The revitalisation of small towns under the Makana municipality in the Eastern Cape is still struggling to offset the grinding poverty and unemployment in this particular area. A mix of the lack of development and political infighting has left the small town of Alisdale feeling very neglected at this time. Let's take a look at this insert.
Situated on the banks of the Bushman River, Alisdale is a small settlement surrounded with historic Bushman caves and wild animals. It was once a hunting ground for its first human inhabitants, the San and the Khoi. By the mid-1700s, the first white explorers and hunting parties were seen. The town became a railway junction in 1873, and for many years thereafter, it was a hive of activities and thriving with jobs.
The life was good at that time. People were not suffering from hunger because the railway was supplying for everybody. And so the people were working under railway. That is when they could be things like butchers, but the butchers were only 2 butchers and only 3 shops that time. So they could be afforded because there was a railway to provide for them.
We had a mower factory here before we got our freedom then. That was running very, very well. But unfortunately, it's not taking place anymore. And as I say, the huge outcry here is unemployment.
Residents say growing up here was fun. They were exposed to a simple life but enjoyed making their own toys.
The people who could not afford to send their children to places like Fort 10, Grahamstown and PE used to play with sticks, used to do that fighting that is not real fighting, and used to do what you call inhlombe, that is they sing. So they were very happy. Even what they wear showed how happy they were because they were wearing clothes that are colorful things. They could make their own beads. You could even make those beads with the mud too and color with what you get from the trees.
Unfortunately, after the railway station closed in 1996, the town lost its momentum. The mohair factory, the butchers and shops all closed down. Now on the main road, only 1 shop remains. Unemployment levels have then since escalated.
Life is very, very poor now. The people are suffering. The people are not employed. The unemployed is very high.
The community of Alisdale is now dependent on the game farms and reserves surrounding the area for employment options. Ifwe Poti, SABC News, Alisdale.
Well, that's Alisdale, and that insert just giving us a bit of background into that town here in the Makana municipality. Well, as I said to you before the insert, is that a lot of the community members have come together to try and make a difference as well. Now, one thing you may or may not know is that Grahamstown has a bit of a nickname. It's basically the City of Saints, and the reason being is that in years gone by, there were so many churches. Well, the number I had was 52 churches of different denominations all around this area, and apparently that has even grown. But what we're going to talk about now is the Assumption Development Centre. Now, there's the Assumption Sisters that are there at that centre working with the university and the community to try and do good around the area. Let's chat to Dai Hornby and Mason Luna about the Assumption Sisters, or the Assumption Development Centre, and the partnership that comes from there. Good to have both of you on the programme. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thank you, Leanne.
Good. Thanks, Di. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
What exactly does the Development Centre do?
The Development Centre was established 3 years ago. In the first 2 years, we visited a lot of NGOs working in the economic development space in the country to learn from them and to pick up on some of their tried and tested courses. From that, we developed our own model, and in the last year, it's in full implementation. And in that short space of time, we have established 7 sustainable businesses. We have another 7 fledgling businesses, and we have 24 people placed in work or in learnerships, or in work opportunities in the National Arts Festival. So what it serves as is a one-stop business hub for Grahamstown, and it's been established in partnership. As you mentioned, the city has had its troubles over a while, and out of every crisis comes something really good. And in this case, the civil society has stood together and formed a partnership between the university, between the extraordinary Assumption sisters who've been here over 100 years, and various NGOs and the business community. And we've established this centre.
Wonderful. You speak about some of the businesses that have been developed. Perhaps you can elaborate on those businesses and what it is that they actually do.
Some of the businesses that we've got one lady that does soap. She bakes soap at home. And one of the ladies that she sews bags. And there's one of the ladies, she's a photographer. Yeah. So she's working with some of the schools here to teach school children how to do photography. And the soap lady is also supplying the B&Bs in the township. And the lady that sews bags, she works closely with Rhodes the conference department here, where she supplies bags throughout the year. So those basically what we're trying to do is that there's huge unemployment rate in Grahamstown. So by creating those businesses, small businesses, we're able at least for them to employ other people. For them to employ the youngsters. So that's the aim of basically what the centre wants to achieve, is that we've got it's about, I think the unofficial rate is 60 to 70% unemployment among the youth. Wow. So basically is that we're now working strongly with the youth to try and instill that spirit of entrepreneurship to them, so that they can come up with ideas on how to find employment.
Figures like 60 to 70% unemployment amongst the youth leads to trouble. It really does. When you have no work, you have nothing to do. Issues of substance abuse, of drinking too much, and just basically trying to fill up your time and forget about things because you have nothing else to do. Is that prevalent here within the area amongst the youth?
Yeah, I think we're probably sitting on a ticking time bomb. If you look at the statistics, 66% of our population is young people under the age of 35. Yeah. You then look at our failing education system, where for every 100 children that enter school in grade 1, 50 get to write grade 12 exams, 40 of those pass, and only 12 pass with a bachelor's pass, which is good to go to university. Yeah. Of those, only 4 or 5 get to university. And Rhodes has done wonders in that space, because the Vice-Chancellor made a promise to the young people of Grahamstown: if you can get the points to come to Rhodes, I'll fund the money. 5 years ago, not more than 10 pupils from our local community were coming to Rhodes. This year we registered in excess of 50. Wow. So that's working. But what isn't working yet is the 95 other children of that group that need other opportunities. And that's why the Assumption Centre has been set up within this partnership to address those challenges. Yeah. Setting up entrepreneurship options and setting up business opportunities. So working with the businesses, what we call backmapping their needs, and then finding and skilling and getting young people ready for jobs.
Yeah, that makes me happy. 50 students from 5, that is huge, and it's wonderful. Just finally, I know that there are feeding schemes as well at the Assumption Development Centre. You go out into the areas. How do you get the money to do this? And talk to me about the feeding scheme.
I think the Assumption Sisters, they started a nutrition centre where about 120 young people that attend primary school and high school, they go there for breakfast, and then they come back for lunch in the afternoon, and then they do their homeworks, working with those students who are volunteering at the centre. They basically they assist the young guys just to do homeworks, and also working with other private schools here. The St. Andrews and the Kingswood. They also come there just to assist. The kids, just to ensure that, as Di indicated, that the education is something which is core now to Grahamstown. We're trying to instill that sense. That sense.
Well, listen, keep up the phenomenal work that you're both doing, and our regards to the Assumption Sisters, and of course, just let's get that number up from 50 to 100. Let's say that. I just think it's a fantastic story. Di Hornby and Masonduna from the Assumption Development Centre here, working with the community for upliftment and betterment and job creation and just trying to bring entrepreneurship within the community members here to just bring some wealth and betterment to the community. All right, now let's take a little bit of a trip, shall we? Let's look at railways. Now, the closure of, we saw it a bit earlier, the Alicedale station in the Eastern Cape in the mid-1990s really left a small community town battling to survive due to these high unemployment rates that we're talking about and poverty that we do find in that area. The once magnificent historic station was a popular junction on the main railway line between Johannesburg and Port Elizabeth. Now, unfortunately, it is a derelict shell of its former self. Alicedale forms part of the Makana municipality, which Grahamstown, that we're in this morning, is the hub.
I am a resident here. We are struggling. It's difficult. No work for us, and ever since we were born here, I've never worked. I live by collecting wood and selling it to the community. I frequent the dump, picking up things to wash and resell.
This is the hard life lived by many in this small town of Alicedale. It is run by the Makana municipality under the Sarah Bodmont district. This town was once very busy and used to buzz with people. Many moved here to work at the railway station, which was the main source of employment and a major economic driving force. Unfortunately, in 1996, the railway station closed its doors and many businesses left. The Makana municipality says they are introducing new plans to revitalize the town.
I think it's very important also to look at the reality of small towns in South Africa, and that is why there is a revitalization of small towns program. It is unfortunately, if there are no market forces in a town to draw people to a townie, you will get, the town going backwards and backwards.
The town has a population of about 5,000 people. Some of them still live in mud structures. It battles with 95% unemployment rate, especially among the youth. Social grants provide the only safety net for the majority of people. Residents feel that they have been forgotten.
In Alicedale, man, you see, me as a youth, man, and all youth here, you see, there's nothing to do here because there's no jobs.
I would say it's a bit tough. People are looking for jobs. They're a bit struggling.
Community leaders say they have been given empty promises by the municipality for years now.
We've got a housing problem. Last houses were built in 1996. Since then, there's not a single house that has been built in Alicedale. The other thing is about the ambulance. We've got one ambulance in Alicedale who's servicing the whole Alicedale. And every day, this ambulance is taking patients to Grahamstown, Settlers Hospital. If it's in Grahamstown, then we've got no emergency service in Alicedale, and people are dying.
For about, I think, 8 years, there was a battle to get a piece of ground transferred to the municipality that involves the town establishment of 360 houses. That process has now almost been concluded.
Political infighting has led to unending leadership instability in the municipality. But the current leadership says in the past year that they have been in office, they are making strides to address these issues.
What we've also done in the meantime as a municipality in Alicedale is that we have gravelled the gravel roads, re-gravelled the gravel roads. We have, upgraded some of the streets. We have money for next year for the sewage reticulation works. We have put aside money to upgrade the park, the playing park for kids. And all those projects has happened within this year. So, I can understand that the community most probably felt that they were neglected, but we have definitely shown from the municipality that we are committed and that we are attending to issues.
They have also committed to hold frequent meetings with the community members and their leaders to ensure that they work through all social ills together. Ifwe Poti, SABC News, Alicedale.